Today on People Now, Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux's splits.
Exclusive details on what went wrong and why Jen tried to save the relationship.
Plus, what's the truth about Jen's relationship with Brad Pitt?
Aaron Carter gets real about how rehab changed his life.
I hit a rock bottom personally and emotionally.
Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez together in Jamaica. We'll tell you all about that big trip.
Celeb chef Giada De Laurentiis opens up to people about finding her second chance at love after a painful split.
Plus details about the cancer scare that rocked the Jonas Brothers and their family. All right, here we go. Happy hump day, everyone. Welcome to People Now. Really good to see you. Now, everyone is still talking about the epic winter games going on in Pyeongchang, South Korea. We're going to be talking about skier Lindsey Vonn's downhill performance in just a bit. But we want to know what's been your favorite moment from the winter games so far. You can tweet us at People, #PeopleNow. But first, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. After 2.5 years of marriage and 7 years together, Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux have officially called it quits. So what exactly went wrong? This week's People cover story is going inside the clashes that drove the pair apart and revealing why Aniston still hoped the marriage could be saved. In the story out Friday, a source close to the actress says she tried for many months to make it work, even going to therapy in hopes to save the relationship. Though the final decision to split was a mutual one, the source says Aniston feels, quote, sad and disappointed and that she didn't expect to be single again. According to sources, one thing the 49-year-old is not looking forward to is dating. An insider telling People, quote, Jen has always found dating awkward and unpleasant, going on to say, but she is a big believer in falling in love and spending her life with a partner that loves sharing hers. Now, don't go anywhere. We have even more details on Jen and Justin's split, including how the pair wanted to start a family. Plus, we've got the truth about Jen's relationship with Brad Pitt. That's just ahead. Jonas Sr. is opening up in this week's issue of People about his fight with colon cancer. The father of the popular Jonas Brothers underwent his first colonoscopy on March 7th of last year at age 52. Doctors found a mass in his colon that was later removed, but confirmed that Kevin Sr. had stage 2 colon cancer. He tells People, quote, my entire life really flashed in front of me. I thought, have I lived a good life? Have I been good to my kids and my wife? Have I done right by people? After his diagnosis, the boys, Kevin, Joe, Nick, and Frankie, camped out at their father's hospital bedside. Joe said, quote, it brought our family a lot closer together. A situation like this makes you wake up and appreciate the ones around you. Nick saying, quote, when I found out about my dad's diagnosis, it was a balance of hope and real concern and fear. I pray that no one else ever has to go through that. The 6 months that followed were filled with grueling chemotherapy that only strengthened the family's bond. Jonas Sr. says, quote, the boys showed me constantly through texts, phone calls, visits, how much they loved me. All 4 sons were by his side on December 22nd when the doctors declared him in remission. He says, quote, I got in the van with all my kids and we all broke into applause. That night, I opened up a beer and had a drink with my boys, and from now on, I'm going to give a toast every time we're celebrating when we're together. Now, even though he is in remission, the former manager of the Jonas Brothers is encouraging more people to get colonoscopy screenings, saying, quote, if just one person ends up like me and catches their cancer before it's life-ending, then I've been a part of something good.
I definitely felt like I hit a rock bottom personally and emotionally. And that's when I thought, you know, this is a time for me to really go take some time and do some self-healing. I'm always striving to be successful and, you know, get the credit for what I do. And that's a lot of pressure.
Aaron Carter is opening up about rehab and how it changed his life. The 30-year-old singer, whose new album Love debuted February 10th, tells People he's more focused than ever on living and being truly happy. Carter, who skyrocketed to fame at just 13 years old, dealt with multiple hardships throughout his career. Money and fame warped relationships within his family, and reports of dysfunction became typical tabloid fodder. Carter's older sister, Leslie, died of a prescription drug overdose in 2012, while his father passed away of a heart attack in May. Carter describes their deaths as, quote, just one punch after the next. He goes on to say, the best thing I can take from it is that I had good relationships with them all the way up until they weren't here. In the midst of those tragedies, Carter came out as bisexual, revealing that the announcement was part of a larger effort to live life as authentically as possible. Although he received plenty of support, other personal hardships took their toll. Carter weighed in at a frail 115 pounds before entering rehab in September, revealing, quote, "I started to get really stressed out about things like my relationship and the expectations people had for me. I just stopped eating." Now back to 160 pounds, Carter's coped by focusing on his new music, saying that he's excited to start this new chapter and live life to the fullest. And we are certainly wishing him all the best there. I remember when he came in here, I don't know, a little over a year ago or so, and he was really an excited person. He was very passionate. So we hope him the best, wish him the best.
Yeah, definitely. And to lose family members like that back to back is so hard. Yeah. And I'm glad that he's definitely seeking help.
Yeah.
He's one of the first people the celebrities I ever met. I played darts with him.
Oh, really?
When I first moved to New York City, and he was the nicest ever.
Yeah.
So I definitely am always rooting for Aaron Carter.
Yeah.
All
right.
right.
We hope he continues to get
Yeah, let's check in on our question of the day. We're asking you guys, what's been your favorite Winter Games moment? There's been a lot.
One Twitter user says, I'm still talking about Chloe Kim and Shaun White, USA snowboarders, for the win.
Yeah, and speaking of Winter Games, 33-year-old skier Lindsey Vonn snagged the bronze medal in her Winter Games downhill race.
Yeah, after the race, she was very emotional, telling a reporter that she gave the race her best shot, and she thinks that she made her late grandfather proud.
Wonderful. And this is likely Vonn's last downhill race. She told reporters she doesn't think her body can handle another 4 years of intense training.
Now, you still have one more chance to see Vonn ski. She's set to race in the women's combined event on Thursday, going against American skier Michaela Schifrin. So we'll definitely be watching for that. All right, more trending news from you, Andrea, and Star Trek.
Yes, Jeremy. So we're kicking off Star Trek with an explanation behind one viral moment after Sunday night's NBA All-Stars game. Watch this.
The reason I was smiling is because I love the National Anthem so much. It just makes me, that's the face I make when I really love a song.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel clarifying that not-so-subtle grin during Fergie's much-talked-about National Anthem performance. The talk show host, who was attending the NBA All-Star game with his son Kevin, explained how he did not initially realize his front-row reaction was being filmed, telling the audience, "I didn't realize I was on camera, but then my phone started just buzzing with text after text, and I was like, oh, I think I might have been on camera." Yeah, you were. Fergie's jazzy rendition generated lots of controversial buzz around Hollywood and beyond. The former Black Eyed Peas frontwoman even issued an apology after the fiasco, reading in part, "I'm a risk taker artistically, but clearly this rendition didn't strike the intended tone. I love this country and honestly tried my best." Kimmel responded to Fergie's statement saying this, "Here's the thing about taking risks when it comes to the National Anthem. Just don't. Don't take risks when you're doing brain surgery. Don't take risks driving a school bus or singing the National Anthem. Just regular is fine." But Kimmel did defend Fergie's attempt to switch things up, adding, "We don't know what Francis Scott Key was thinking when he wrote the Star Spangled Banner. Maybe he wanted it to be sexy. Hey, you never know. I'm just gonna say, I didn't hate it. I like that she took the risk."
Really?
Yeah, she took a risk, okay? All right, moving on to this. Justin Bieber watched his dad say "I do" as one of his groomsmen in Montego Bay, Jamaica. This was on Monday. The 23-year-old pop star was front and center, wearing a white collared shirt, pink shorts, and a color-coordinated bow tie, matching some of his dad's other groomsmen. Though his girlfriend, Selena Gomez, was not present in the official photos, the Wolf singer was in the Caribbean by Justin's side. Sources telling People that Justin flew to Texas on Sunday to pick up Gomez on the way to the wedding destination. We're really happy they were together. Selena even snapped a selfie with Bieber's new stepmom, Chelsey Rebelo's twin nieces, and 2 other wedding attendees. The Montego Bay getaway comes after Justin and Selena were recently spotted celebrating Valentine's Day together at church and later at the Montage in Beverly Hills. Gotta say, we are loving these two back together.
I was on my phone and I was texting, and you know when you're laying on your bed, you're looking up at your phone, and I got the email, and then I got so surprised, and you know what happens next, just straight onto my face.
Drops it, boom, slams your face.
I didn't even care, I didn't feel anything, got up, started dancing.
Phone to the face. Talk about the most painful surprise ever. Alexis Ren is the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit 2018 Rookie of the Year. And seriously, are we even surprised here? The 21-year-old model absolutely nailed her first S-size swim photo shoot in Aruba. It's getting all hot and heavy, but strutting her stuff for the camera hasn't always been easy. Alexis, who has over 11 million followers on Instagram, opened up about social media trolls and how she deals with online hate.
There's not really a way to handle them. You just are kind of like, oh, ow, okay, then you move on.
Yeah.
So I just kind of look at them, I feel compassion for them because we're all humans. I can't really ever hate on them in that sense. I have this thing called my post-it people, which are my closest family members, and I always say, like, those people are the ones who count, the ones who I put their word as something special to me. So if they're all like, no, you're good, you're not that, we love you, we know who you are as a person, then I don't take anything else personally, because those are the ones that matter in my family.
That's an amazing attitude about that. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, guys, stay with us. We are breaking down even more details surrounding Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux's split, including the truth about Brad Pitt. Plus, why did Ashton Kutcher fast for a week in the woods after his divorce from Demi Moore? We're talking about all of that in just a little bit. Stick around.
This is Jennifer Lawrence in People. This is Jennifer photobombing Taylor Swift and Sarah Jessica Parker and Liam Hemsworth, proving that while we all love the fashion of the red carpet, it's people who steal the show. People. The details make the story.
Guys, in this week's issue of People, celeb chef Giada De Laurentiis is opening up about her second chance at love and all the reasons she has to smile these days.
Yeah, including her 9-year-old daughter, Jade, and her boyfriend of 2.5 years, TV producer Shane Farley. Now, Giada met Shane a few years ago while working together on a TV show. At first, they were just friends, which I think is a good way to start out.
Yeah, after a split from Jade's dad in 2014, Giada admits to People that she needed to take some time to, quote, rest and reset before even thinking about getting back in the dating game.
After I got divorced, I spent about 1.5 years alone, not dating and not just sort of figuring things out. I had been with Jade's dad for 25 years, since I was like, I don't know, 18, like my mom. And so I sort of didn't even know what it meant to not be married or not be with someone. So I took some time and I kind of figured out my relationship with Jade and just refigured out my life. And once I got settled, we reconnected and I felt like a kid again. One of my favorite things is how much we laugh together. And I think that's what I feel like keeps me young and it makes me smile. So I would say that I smile a lot more.
Very happy. Now, Giada says Shane is lighthearted, very spontaneous, and he loves to laugh. Sounds like the key to a successful relationship right there.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. And Shane also says that he, quote, really enjoys hanging out with Giada's daughter, Jade. So it sounds like family life, dating life are meshing pretty seamlessly for everyone, which is obviously incredibly important.
Yeah, my favorite thing about this story is that, so, you know, she obviously has her restaurants and she loves to cook, but he has actually gotten her to be okay with ordering food in.
Oh, wow,
He's always had a hard time with that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, let's like order food in. Why not?
Hang out at the house.
Yeah, and I
enjoy your
love
time.
that. And I'm happy to hear that she's doing so well.
Me too. All right, celebrity chef Gina Neely is embracing her inner happiness too. The 52-year-old Southern chef first rose to fame in 2008 on Food Network's Down Home with the Neelys, where she starred for 7 seasons alongside her now ex-husband, Pat.
Yeah, although Gina and Pat appeared like the perfect couple on screen, their marriage suffered from the fame. And as Gina reveals this, she says, it wasn't healthy or happy. It didn't feel like a marriage anymore. He became my business partner and I needed a husband.
After 20 years together, couples therapy, and 5 failed attempts at separating, Gina finally found the strength to leave, and the two have not spoken since. So it's been 5 years of no communication, but she doesn't wish him any ill will. They just really weren't in alignment. She couldn't let anyone dictate her path. That's where she was with the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because obviously as viewers and watching, and we didn't know any of this was going on.
Right.
The breakup corresponded with a 35-pound weight loss journey, fundamentally changing her cooking style. So she says this, as I got into my fabulous 50s, I still felt vibrant, young, and fresh. I changed my diet to match, making healthier food with ingredients that are still tasty, but good for you. Food that's light and fun.
All right, that's not all. She's dating too. You can catch her on Bravo's To Rome for Love, which follows Gina and a group of single women in Italy. Gina, and by the way, actually going to be coming in our studio talking about her love life abroad in just a few weeks. We can't wait for that.
I
Get all
can't
the
wait to
details.
find the dating in Italy stories, to find those out. All right, we've been talking about the big cover story. Lots of details about Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux's split.
Yeah, of course, when celebs break up, people start looking at what and when it all went wrong.
Yeah, but it seems like there was one common theme with Jen and Justin's separation, and that's where the two wanted to spend their time together.
Yeah, so Justin's a full-on New York City guy, while Jen has always loved her laid-back LA lifestyle. It was hard for them to find common ground, which is kind of interesting because Jen was raised in New York, but she's just loves LA now.
Jeremy, it's not for everyone.
Not for everyone.
Not for everyone. A source tells people that New York made Jen, quote, miserable
Yeah,
even.
it went on to say that she doesn't like New York because she can't hide from the paparazzi and couldn't ever do anything spontaneous. Don't forget, she's got sort of a private compound type setup in LA.
In LA, you have so much more space, so it does make sense. Meanwhile, an insider close to the pair says that while Justin was in New York, he, quote, acted more like a single guy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Not a good thing.
The source says this, Justin went out with his single friends, sometimes would have very little contact with Jen for days, which obviously not so good.
Yeah, so one thing that's always been a point of conversation when it comes to Jen and Justin was whether the two would have a baby.
In the cover story, a source tells People that the couple originally had hoped to start a family. The quote says they wanted to have a baby, but it didn't work out.
And the source adding that though they were disappointed and sad, it didn't devastate or consume them.
Yeah, so it's good to point out that not having a baby had nothing to do with this split. That's something that they had kind of dealt with.
Yeah, now, of course, since news of Jen and Justin's split, the one thing on everyone's minds, fans can't help themselves, will Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt get back together?
Yeah, sorry, Brad and Jen fans or hopefuls shipping them back together online. Even though they are both single now, a source tells People it's pretty unlikely.
Yeah, saying that they broke up because they had serious issues and that they're, quote, not stupid and they remember why it didn't work out.
Yeah, plus the source says that Brad and Jen haven't seen each other in ages, that they just text occasionally, so...
So it makes me want to know what those texts are.
Yeah, the source also had said that they are totally different people now, and have met. So maybe on the hopeful side, if they're different people, who knows?
I don't know.
I'm one of those hopeful fans.
I just think it's okay for them to be friends. Why does everyone have to get back together?
All right, I'll take your piece of advice and move with that.
All right.
There's no right way, guys, to get over a breakup, but Ashton Kutcher, he is revealing what worked for him when he divorced Demi Moore back in 2013.
All right, get ready for this. So apparently, he headed to the woods for a week with nothing but water, tea bags, and a notebook. This is extreme. I do not recommend this.
Or maybe, I don't know. Ashton stopped by his friend Dax Shepard's podcast, Armchair Expert, gave him all the details. He says his big retreat took place in Big Sky, Montana.
Which is kind of nice. But not only did he stop eating, he also went totally off the grid. So no computer, no phone, no talking, nothing. I can't even imagine.
I think it sounds kind of great to fully unplug. Anyway,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be for everyone.
But the food part.
Okay, not the food. For Ashton, though, he called the experience really spiritual and kind of awesome. I can hear him say it. Here's a quote from the podcast. He says, I started to hallucinate on like day 2, which was fantastic. I was doing Tai Chi with my own energy. Look at that.
He says he spent time journaling about the feelings he still had about past relationships and even wrote letters to some of his exes, which he sent on the last day. I can get behind that.
Pretty interesting. He says he probably did some damage in those past relationships, and this was his way of clearing his palate to start fresh.
Yeah, now Ashton and Demi spent 6 years together. So that's a chunk of time, and that does take a lot to get over.
You need something to kind of reset, and that's what he did. So Ashton went on to marry, of course, Mila Kunis in 2015, and they have 2 kids, so things are going well with him. Obviously, that time in the woods alone really seemed to help him set up to move forward in a really serious way and start a family.
Yeah, and I do want to reiterate that, yes, going off the grid is great, but I think the not eating part is where it's like, maybe just bring some snacks. I don't know.
I just love the idea of, like, I don't know, a full reset in that way.
All right, you go try it and you report back on how it is.
Yeah, right.
All right, he may not have snagged an individual medal during the Winter Games, but Nathan Chen has definitely won America over with his epic comeback story.
After what even he admits was a, quote, disastrous short program, Nathan found himself in 17th place, but he proved that it's not over till it's over, people.
Not only did he go on to skate better in his free skate, he actually became the first man ever to land 5 clean quads in a Winter Games free skate. That's 4 rotations in the air, 5 times, people.
Really, really impressive. After that performance, he went from 17th place to 5th place.
Woo-hoo.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, just a few days after his historic performance, Nathan opened up to People about what kept him going, even when things got really tough.
You know, I did 2 really bad performances, and yet people still believe in me, they still support me, and having that support was really nice. Kind of glad people realize that I'm human, I make mistakes too. I was really worried that it would, you know, be remembered by those 2 short programs, and I'm glad that I was able to change that with the long. I did the best that I could.
Yep. All right, to call your very first Winter Games a learning experience, that's probably a bit of an understatement, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
What does Nathan learn from his emotional roller coaster in Pyeongchang? And could we see a comeback in 2022? Here's what he had to say about that.
2022 is coming around the corner. It's 4 years from now. And it is reassuring to know that these guys placed 5th and then were able to win their next one. And, you know, I'm hoping that something like that happens to me too. I came in ready to go, prepared, and then just laid down a disastrous short program. And then come in the next day knowing that I'd never done a clean 6 quad program before and still just deciding to go for it. And I think that having just like a fearless attitude will definitely be something that I can take away from this competition and, you know, I can take forward into the future.
Wow, really incredible to hear the learning experience at this peak level, still learning more and definitely looking ahead.
Yeah, and I'm always really impressed when someone has a bad performance, like earlier on in the Olympics, and then they have to recover from that.
The head game,
me,
right?
Like, I'd be so defeated. I'm like, well, I don't want to do any of the other ones, because...
So watching that is incredible. A few things that I've been loving about this whole Winter Games experience. I love watching the videos of the Today Show crew watching the Olympics. They are getting so excited. Savannah Guthrie, Hoda, and Al, and the rest of them, they've been posting like crazy. They're filling up my feed, and they are the biggest fans on the ground there. They're staying up there watching everything, every single sort of performance, every event, and they are just thrilled by it. Their excitement makes me more excited.
Is there one that you're tracking along with?
So, well, one of the moments that I love best was the Red Gerard. I just
and
love
having him in studio is amazing.
Yeah.
And he's just this like chill snowboarder.
Yeah, he's exactly the kind of athlete that you think he's going to be. He's a 17-year-old kid. He's just unbelievable out there. But that's his thing. His thing isn't like sort of whipping up the celebrity life, at least not yet. That doesn't feel like his vibe. It's just like very...
He's like a normal kid, which is great.
My favorite part about the interview that we did with him is that here he is, he's a gold medalist. He's just flown in from actually Pyeongchang to LA, then LA to New York. It's just this whirlwind. Then he was going back. He did the whole interview with us, and then at the end, when we were like taking our mics and stuff off, he goes in his pocket and he pulls it, he goes, oh, I guess I could have had this out. He pulls his gold medal out of his pocket.
He had the gold medal in his pocket the entire time, which we could have been having that on the interview.
And we did put it on and take pictures, but it was just so funny that it's become, like, this is his life now, right? Like, this is his level of existence. Yeah, I've got a gold medal here. Maybe I'll, what am I going to do with it? Who knows?
I've been loving that now since, social media is so big that, you can see these wonderful people perform, compete, and then you can follow them on Twitter, like Adam Rippon is absolutely hilarious on Twitter and in all of his interviews.
Yeah, there's definitely, it's kind of like turning the whole thing into this, it's the multi-tiered, the social media generation of the Olympics, which gives it this whole other life.
Well, then you think they're accessible, and you try to DM Olympians.
Okay. Hey guys, we actually have some breaking news here on a very different note. Evangelist and preacher Reverend Billy Graham, counselor to presidents and the most widely heard Christian evangelist in history, has died at 99 years old. Obviously, really big news here.
Yeah, spokesman Mark DeMoss tells the Associated Press that Graham died Wednesday morning at his home in North Carolina.
He'd been treated in recent years for cancer, pneumonia, other ailments. His wife, Ruth, died in 2007.
Yeah, Graham reached more than 200 million people through his appearances and millions more through his pioneering use of television and radio.
His message, his service to U.S. presidents from Dwight Eisenhower to George W. Bush earned him the nickname America's Pastor. In 1995, his evangelistic association designated his son, William Franklin Graham III, as the ministry's leader. So a lot of people obviously, look, he's a legend, he's an icon. And a lot of people will be, sort of commenting on this throughout the day. It's going to be a trending topic for sure. People sharing stories of, growing up with him. I remember growing up, like this was like truly America's pastor. This was the guy that my family, my grandmother, my parents.
Yeah, even if you didn't follow him, like everyone knew about him, and you heard about him. He's done wonderful stuff, and our thoughts definitely go out to his family.
Yeah, a lot of people looking up to him. All right, guys, we're checking in on our question of the day one last time. We want to know what's been your favorite Winter Games moment so far.
One Twitter user says, I love the sibling skating duos. If my brother and I ever tried to hit the ice together, I don't think we'd make it very long, LOL. Yeah, or you'd probably start fighting.
Yeah, here's an interesting thing. Not everyone has been loving the games. Kirstie Alley threw a little shade at the sport of curling, writing in a now deleted tweet. She said, not trying to be mean, but curling is boring.
She deleted it. Well, the USA men's curling team did not hold back with their response, replying, we're not trying to be mean either, but your movies weren't exactly riveting theater, Kirstie. Oh, snap. Don't worry. It seems that the Kirstie and men's curling team seem to have buried the hatchet.
Yeah, the actress saying she'd love to give the sport a second chance while the team invited her and her son to learn the ropes at a local curling organization in Hollywood. I like that. A good Twitter feud, has a happy ending, and it leaves us sort of teased. There's more to come. I can't wait to see how this all plays out.
It's like a whole thing. It's a whole story that's now unfolding. I'm like, okay, now we need to see the pictures of them learning how to do curling.
And will she walk away with a newfound respect, or will she be like, actually, it was more boring than I thought it was?
Yeah, I know. She shouldn't have deleted the tweet. She should have just kept it up there.
Oh, gosh. Anyway. All right, guys, we're going to be asking you a new question of the day tomorrow on People Now. Come back at 8:30 a.m. Eastern right here. Coming up tomorrow, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Dorit Kemsley spilling the tea on the shade Bethany Frankel threw at her, plus the Winter Games USA athletes revealing who they would want to be stranded on a desert island with.
Yeah, thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with a little game that we played with the one and only Spencer Pratt called This or That. Enjoy.
Bye, guys. Taylor Swift or Katy Perry?
Taylor Swift. Don't ever put Katy Perry in a sentence with Queen T. Swift ever again, or I'll unplug all these cameras.
Hummingbirds or crystals?
I get asked this a lot, so I'm gonna say hummingbirds.
Man, why? Is it just calming?
Just when a hummingbird lands on your finger and you're just eye to eye with a hummingbird, it touches your soul. And it's like, I'll hold a crystal and it's like, I'll try to tune into the energy, but
that hum.
Tuning into the wing is like, oh,
you can't duplicate that.
Hummers.
The show This Is Us or Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, I'm sorry.
We will defeat it.
Meghan Markle or Kate Middleton?
Hashtag American hero Meghan Markle, because that's how I refer to her. The greatest thing that's ever come out of America.
Lauren Conrad or Whitney Port?
Whitney. Whitney and I went to high school together, and middle school and college. And,
Tighter bond.
Yeah.
All right, Lady Gaga or Justin Timberlake's halftime show?
I only saw the Timberlake show in At Mentions, and it got murdered. Sorry, JT, I know you're a man of the woods now, but I liked you and you're just sexy back. But I don't like Lady Gaga, I'm sorry. I do love Just Dance. So if she'd performed Just Dance at the Super Bowl or Poker Face,
okay.
I would have been like, so neither.
There you have it.
Thanks for having me. I'll spend the night.